Hello, accelerators, and welcome to the Thursday afternoon tune-up. I am Diane Spadola, and this is episode number 89. This video series is brought to you by Accelerate Your Success, the business booster program for artists and entertainers. If you're on Facebook, you can join our free online classroom by the same name, Accelerate Your Success. You'll find us under groups. And if you are not on Facebook, well, come on over and join up anyways. There are all kinds of goodies in the Facebook group. I go live twice a week. I answer people's individual questions. I provide marketing tools and worksheets and support for you, especially if you're in an industry that's been crushed by COVID. In some cases, I might even help you pivot to doing something new. So think of this video as your information and inspirational pit stop before the race, which is your weekend. Okay, so I did that one wrong. Let's try that again. There we go. We want the car coming, not going. Going is at the end. So today what I want to talk to you about is the notion of leaning in. Let me give you a definition of what leaning in is. So basically, according to the dictionary, leaning in has to do with that notion of stepping forward to shift one's body weight towards someone or something. In either water or snow sports, you can lean into a wave, you can lean into the wind, you can lean into a slope, or you can lean into a turn. In some cases, batters can lean into a pitch, or pitchers can lean into a throw. It basically means getting more engaged with the person, and it has to do with focus and attention. So I think of it a little bit differently. I think of it more like doubling down on the things that need to be done, the things that are working, not necessarily the things that are on your to-do list. So I'd like to think that you're giving extra attention, you're focusing on, and generally trying to avoid distractions that take you away from the thing that you are leaning into. I've had an opportunity this week to talk to all kinds of people in our industry. People that have big companies, people that have small companies, people for whom this is their full-time income, and people for whom it is just a little more than a hobby. And what I've learned is that people they're behaving differently in private than they are in public. And let me talk about what that means. And I just want to let everyone know I have no judgment. Okay? Your journey is your journey. And I know that some people are comfortable going out there and some people are not. As the world starts to open back up and people give less of an emphasis to the COVID pandemic, people will call you for bookings. People are going to be having parties again. People are not going to be wearing masks. People are not going to be concerned about you or somebody else being contagious. So what I've learned is that after all these conversations, that in public, people are staying safe as they need to do. And they're professing that they will stay safe as they need to do. But in private, they're actually doing the gigs that they're being called about. In most cases, that's smaller parties. There are very few corporations or public events that are going to be hosting specifically face painting. And in some cases, any type of entertainment, because the notion of gathering people in a crowd is very hard to regulate. And it's not something that most event planners or corporations, restaurants, hotels, weddings, it's not something that they feel comfortable doing. But I'd like to ask, most importantly, whatever is going on in your neck of the world, don't judge. Okay? Everyone's level of protection and how safe they feel is different. So, no matter what's happening with your neighbors and your fellow entertainers, don't judge what they decide to do. Do what's necessary in order to keep yourself safe. And for those that are at home or out of work or are pivoting to a new business, this notion about lean in is something that you love. First of all, I'm going to give you 4 tips. No need to write them down, but if you want to, that's awesome. Give yourself permission to move slower right now than you have at this time of year in the past. I talk to some of these people and they have professed to me that they've aged, they think 5 or 10 years in the last 6 months. I am more tired than I was a year ago. Why? I don't know. I'm not doing anything more. I'm actually doing substantially less. But I think the notion of the stress that world news, global health pandemic, not doing what you love, being isolated, not carrying on your normal everyday social activities, that all puts stress on you. And as a result, it's making us fatigued. So give yourself permission to slow down. You don't have to do all the things. That's number 1. Number 2 is if you are overscheduled, there's only one person to blame, and that is you. So I suggest that you put a buffer in your calendar. Maybe it's only a half an hour. Maybe it's an hour. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, but you need to put some wiggle room into your own schedule so that you can go for a walk, have a cup of tea, sit outdoors, look out the window, take a hot bath. I don't know what it is that's going to make you feel better, but you need to actually schedule that for yourself now, because our world is extremely unpredictable. And if you keep waiting for the opportunity to do something good for yourself, I can assure you it's probably not going to come. So stick it in your calendar and then carve that portion of time out for you to do what is necessary to provide self-care. It's really, really important. And if you feel like keep on working because you're in the creative mode, or you're practicing a face paint and you want to do it again just to get the muscle memory down, or you're writing to clients and don't want to stop, it's okay. But just remember that when you are done with that activity, you really want to make sure that you take that buffer time and use it for yourself. Third, if your to-do list is making you feel bad, making you cranky, making you feel guilty, making you feel apologetic, it's way too big, okay? So instead, why not carve out 3 things that you're going to get done this week, all right? Instead of just keeping that running to-do list that you look at every night before you go to bed. And as a result, you feel guilty going to bed because there's more things to do. There's always going to be more things to do. But I suggest that if you carve out little things, if you take baby steps towards those big rocks, then you will actually complete a task, and won't that feel wonderful to cross that off the list? So keep your list small, keep it manageable. 3 things in the course of a week would be awesome. If you have bigger projects, like you're putting up a new website, you're launching a new service, you're taking a course, what else? You're establishing a new social media presence on a specific platform that you don't know anything about. Maybe that's just one thing that you can do this week. All right? Big projects, keep it simple. Just do 1. And then lastly, and this has to go with that fatigue and the buffer time, and maybe even your to-do list. You need to replace your joy with something that feels good to you. We're not out doing entertaining. We're not out making people laugh. Some of you might be, but I'm not. I miss being around the little people. One of the reasons I feel older is because I'm not around making little kids laugh. I'm not around making the 20-somethings get something great on their face. I'm not doing those things. I'm not seeing those people. I'm not feeding off of their energy. So what I learned is that I need to find a way to boost my own energy. I need to find a way to get joy out of something that I'm doing. For you, it could be cooking, could be baking, could be biking, could be painting on canvas, could be knitting, home decorating, but I am leaning into my customers and my clients, and I'm trying to serve them. That way, I can do what I'm passionate about, which is coaching and helping others. So I'm suggesting that you might want to do the same, lean into your customers, lean into your clients, and find out what you can do for them. My ultimate goal is to help others move forward, earning a better income while doing what they love. I can help you pivot or grow the business that you have. So DM me, PM me, email me, reach out and throw up a flare. I don't know, but you can get in touch with me in any number of the usual places. And I would love to know what obstacles you're facing and how I can help. See you next week.